Hello Gemini, Elsie here to do your reading. It is for the week ahead, Gemini. How are you? Thank you so much for being here and watching. I do appreciate you. This week we are doing 3 hands and we haven't done that in a while. So we are going to do 3 hands, but we are going to do finances, career, and love. We're going to look at all 3. Thank you so much for clicking here. If you're brand new, if you've never been here before, I read for Gemini once a week. And thanks so much for choosing to give this a shot. If you are the Gemini who keeps coming back and watching, or the cross watcher, thank you so much for doing that. If you're my ride or die, I appreciate you. And if you want to know about all the sales that I have on right now for private reads, and you want to know about how to access the extended reading, then please just hang around for the end of the video. Let's find out what's going on for you, Gemini, for your finances. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Gemini. Gemini, we start with the Wheel of Fortune. Look, if you're going to have a finance reading, it might as well start with the Wheel of Fortune. And because that is things that are expanding. The new cycle is here. It's destiny. It's change. You're going to be having some sort of a big change in your finances coming up. For some of you, it'll be the week ahead. This is a general reading. So for not all of you are at this space and time right here. So those of you who are on this cycle, you can expect something to start showing up in the week ahead. I feel like there is something, though, that you have to let go of. And I feel that the Ten of Swords is telling me that you must release something. It feels like you've been going through hardship or worry. I feel like the 10 is finally leaving the 9, which is where all the worry for the future is. So I feel like you just are you're going to stop worrying about your finances for the future. The 3 of Swords is here. I feel like you've been dealing with maybe some financial loss or disappointments possibly. But I think that you are going to be able to release your worries about your finances because the Wheel of Fortune has just entered the chat. Let's find out what's going on here with the Wheel of Fortune and the Ten of Swords. We have the Ace of Pentacles. Look, it's going to escalate quickly. Whatever's going on with the finances here, going to escalate quickly when the Ace of Pentacles shows up with the Wheel of Fortune. We do have the Page of Wands as well. I feel like there's some sort of exciting communication or the beginning of some sort of exciting new path that you're going to be entering into as it pertains to finances, because the Ace of Pentacles is here. It feels like there is going to be some type of a financial opportunity that has been traveling super slow toward you. Now, I think it comes at a time when you really need some good news about your finances. It feels like the Wheel of Fortune is changing everything. There's about to be a big change. The Wheel of Fortune is like click, and then all of a sudden everything starts to change and work in your favor. You get to release the worry, you get to release the sadness, you get to release the concern or the disappointment that you've been having in your finances. Look at this. Then we have a tower that's showing up at in the future here. This is the future energy for me. We have the Two of Pentacles, the Four of Swords, and the Tower. Look, the Two of Pentacles is a decision. It is a decision in the 3D, or possibly a decision about maybe you've been carrying more than one job or thinking about getting a second job. I feel like something becomes clear. You become stable of the mind coming up, and it comes in with the Tower. Some sort of exciting new cycle shows up with the Fool. So I feel like this release is what you needed in order to be able to start a new chapter, because when you are the Fool, you're taking a leap of faith, but you cannot take anything with you from the last chapter, because the Fool, it's the freedom, right? It's the freedom to be able to jump, to be able to leap without having strings attached. So the Tower is here. Things are shifting for you, and it's giving you clarity about how you are going to balance your finances. 2s are about balance, 2s are about choice. But when I see the Two of Pentacles, it's also can be that things are, you're trying to keep all the balls in the air, trying to keep things from hitting the ground, right? And you've got too much going on. So I feel like possibly you may not have to get the second job or the side hustle if you don't want it. It feels like something that has been moving super slow is about to show up with an opportunity here. Let's talk about that. And it's coming in with the Wheel of Fortune. So it is expansion of your finances. And it starts off with some sort of seed that is planted or some sort of investment that you make possibly. The Tower came back out again. And so this is what it is about. I feel as though the Wheel of Fortune is bringing you good fortune, good luck, expansion, and change as it pertains to your finances. And it's coming in kind of like a wrecking ball, like an immediate shift into something really exciting for you. If I could just shuffle these cards, we could figure out more. We'd find out what's going on here. We've got, oh, I love it. Look, when the Angel of the Night shows up, the Angel of the Night is specific to this deck, which is the Tarot of the Night. And so we have the Angel of the Night. And the Angel of the Night only shows up when your dark time is over, to tell you that you've gone through all the lessons, you've passed all the important lessons, and it's time for you to come out of the dark night of the soul. So I want to say for you, Gemini, if you've been having financial issues, if you've really been worried about it, or you've been put into a place of financial impact, I feel like this Tower is about to clear the way by presenting you with some sort of an opportunity that is going to take off in a really good direction. Yeah, it feels like here, this is what the Angel of the Night is here. The Five of Pentacles and the Angel of the Night with the Tower is telling me that it's time for change, that you no longer have to deal with these dark financial days that you were dealing with. The Wheel of Fortune is here to tell you that everything is going to be okay. You're just going to have to get through these last changes here and wait for this opportunity to show up. But I want to say with this Knight of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles, that's two pentacles here. And to me, that's a decision, or that's something new that shows up. It is balance. You're about to balance your finances here. Tell me about the Ten of Swords, please. Finances, please. The World card. No more worry. You're closing the door, ending the chapter. I'm not worrying about it. I'm finally just releasing it. For me, when the Ten of Swords shows up with the World card, it's a permanent end. You don't have to go back there. It feels like the Angel of the Night showing up has said that you've learned the lesson. This is an accomplishment or a milestone. You're going to be reaching, if not the week ahead, the week after that, into the future for some of you, if you're not on this timeline yet, that there is some relief coming, that there is something that is showing up here that I think that you knew was going to show up. The High Priestess is here. And we have the Queen of Swords. Okay, so it's like getting things in order, organizing your thoughts, getting really honest with yourself. Something is about to show up. The Queen of Swords is also a speaker. You could be hired for an engagement where you're going to be speaking. Gemini, you're among the smartest people that I know, and you are public speakers. And so I feel like you might be hired for a gig to speak out loud. There is something that you have intuitively or psychically, I'm going to say, with the High Priestess, and that I think that you're a person, Gemini, who really doesn't speak unless you have to. And what I mean by that is, I'm sure you're like, I've never met a Gemini that was any less than chitty chatty and silly and fun, but I think that the High Priestess energy and the Queen of Swords is telling me that I'm just going to stay quiet until I need to say something, until I need to stand up for myself. I feel like you're going to be asked to stand up. You're going to be asked to speak about your intuition, or possibly your spiritual commitment. I feel like a door is opening, because when the World card is here, it's the end of a chapter. So I feel like a door is opening to some sort of opportunity that is going to make you money. It is good news. It's exciting news. And I think that you've been waiting for this break. I feel like you're just like, can you just buy me a break financially? And I think that's coming. You're going to be presented with some type of opportunity that's going to ask you to arrive at a place that is like a social gathering. So maybe you'll be asked to sing at a wedding or speaking engagement, because the Three of Cups is about there being celebration around you, possibly a dinner. But the Page of Swords is here. I feel like there's a contract coming, that possibly there is a contract and you might choose to show up at this public place to possibly do a speaking engagement. But somebody, whatever it is, it might even be a business dinner that you're showing up at. But it feels like that this financial time, this financial hardship for you is about to be on its way out. We've got the Six of Cups, we've got the Ten of Wands, and we have the Ten of Swords. I think it's almost like you standing at the threshold of the door of the house you just sold, and you're taking one last look back before you close the door and leave. That's what the Ten of Wands and the Six of Cups is giving me. I feel like in the past you've been through such hardship. Like I feel like you're reminding yourself how hard it was, how burnt out you felt, how pressured you felt, and you just didn't feel like there was any way out because the Eight of Swords is here. And then I feel like finally the universe has compassion and kindness. It feels like the Ten of Pentacles is here. Something is, when I was seeing the Ace of Pentacles with the Wheel of Fortune, I said that escalates quickly, right? Because I think it does. I think that this Ace of Pentacles escalates to the Ten of Pentacles. So whether that ends up for you being a new job or a new opportunity, a financial opportunity to speak, please show up and teach us something at this dinner, at this meeting. I feel like it's going to be shifting in your favor after a really hard financial time that you possibly have had in the past here. Four of Wands, things are about to stabilize, get more celebratory, fun. Maybe it's time for you to buy that house, put the down payment on the house, possibly. It could be a loan that's coming through as well. All right, just put this here. Let's talk about your career. Tell me about Gemini career, please. Gemini career. We have the Knight of Wands, we have the Queen of Wands in the reverse, and then we have the Six of Pentacles. It does feel like you've been waiting on someone to make some type of decision about when is going to be go time. I wonder if you've applied for a position or a new job. The Knight of Wands tells me that they didn't give you a yes or a no, that possibly you were brave enough to show up, get the interview done, and the Knight of Wands tells me a little bit of energy that is not stable. So when walking out of there, you're not sure if I have the job, I'm not sure if I don't have the job. But the Queen of Wands in the reverse isn't taking action. I feel like it's almost like a waiting game right now. I feel like you gave your all. I'm going to say you gave everything, you put it all out on the table there. So I'm going to say that if you had this interview, the Six of Pentacles is telling me that you gave that and more. You gave everything that you needed to, but you're just not getting anything back in return at this time because nobody's taking action. When the Queen of Wands is in the reverse, we're not really taking action on anything. It's an inward, it's like somebody's gone inward to look at, do we really need this person to fill this position? Nobody is calling you, nobody's taking action here. We've got the King of Cups and we have the Two of Wands. So the King of Cups is like, they all had poker faces. I couldn't tell what was going on. Two of Wands, are they going to make a decision? Because I gave them my all and I still haven't heard from them. We've got the Seven of Swords. So you really don't trust the situation at this time. It feels like there's something that is hiding under the surface, and that's apparent with the Seven of Swords and the King of Cups. I really do feel like you're the best person or the best fit for the job because of the Knight of Wands energy. You bring the energy. You're the person who's very personable. This is Leo, Sagittarius energy, Aries, right? So you're very personable, you're very excitable, you're the leader. I feel like you're a leading kind of personality, and I feel that you just put it all out there. You gave them as much as you could, but they're really not giving you any indication at this time as to whether the job is yours or not. We do have the Ten of Wands, so I think we're coming to the end of the cycle. It feels like you're going to hear something soon. We're at the Two of Wands, and it's like the place where nothing's moving. We're making plans behind the scenes, and I feel like the Ten of Wands is telling me now that we're at the end of the cycle, so you should be hearing about the Ace of Wands pretty soon. So if you're waiting on a job, we've got the Ace of Swords. Here comes the communication. Tell me about the Ace of Swords. And then we have the Four of Wands. So the Four of Wands is celebration. It is stability. I feel like if you are the person who has applied for a new position, I feel like you are the person that they do pick. So it does feel like you are going to get some sort of stable answer. I feel like clarity that you will be able to celebrate because the Ten of Wands is here. I feel like the pressure is going to be off once the call comes in. Tell me about the Two of Wands, please. We've got the Ten of Swords. We've got the Lovers. Yeah, they choose you, I think. We've got the Five of Swords. It feels as though they come back to you I feel like the Two of Wands here, you're being released from this place where you had to sit and wait. The Ten of Swords to me is the release. It's the end of a painful cycle. And then the Five of Swords is here saying that they're going to fight at any cost to make sure that you choose them. So now they're coming back to you to say, yep, after making you have to wait for our answer, it feels like they're going to try and hire you at any cost, which means you now have a negotiating tool. So we have the Tower, we have the Eight of Cups, and we have the Emperor. Wow. So look, I feel like this is going to be a job where you are in control. So now the ball is going to be in your court. It feels like they're going to try and get you at any cost. You're the best candidate, the Emperor, and I want you to make sure that you go in there in control. The Eight of Cups is already here. Go in this, yep, absolutely, I can do that for you. I can, you're in control, right? The Tower's here, it's all shifting in your favor. I feel like the Eight of Cups being here tells me with the Seven of Swords that you don't have to settle for whatever it is that you don't want to settle for. But I feel like it is pulling you out of a comfort zone, and from being on the outside looking in, you are now about to close a chapter with the World card, and the Eight of Pentacles is here. You're now going to be working again. So I feel like if you are waiting to hear about a job that you thought that you were going to love, I feel like when they come back to you, they realize that you're way more than qualified for this opportunity to become the leader or the lead on something. It feels like you're going to be getting a really good job, one where you're in control. The Tower comes in and shifts everything in your favor. We've got the Knight of Cups, we've got the Three of Wands, and the Two of Swords. The decision is coming in the near future here, and the Knight of Cups tells me that this has been slow moving, really slow moving. I feel it's taken its time to get to you because this is the passive Knight, and the passive Knight always gets to the place where they're going to go. But I feel like you've been waiting and waiting and waiting, and so the Three of Wands tells me that in the future the Two of Swords is here. Somebody's making a decision. Nine of Cups. It's going to make you very, very happy. So if you're changing careers or changing jobs, I feel like you have made a good choice. All right. And they're going to choose you. Let's talk about love. All right. Let's talk about love for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. What do you need to know about Gemini and love? Tell me about Gemini. We have the Four of Wands, we have the Nine of Cups, and we have the Six of Swords in the reverse. So it feels like there is wish fulfillment that is showing up, but it's taking its time. I feel like you've been waiting for a while, and I think that in the waiting, you've been really hard on yourself. Stability or the next level of wherever you are. So if you are somebody who just began dating someone, that person wants to make you their monogamous person. If you are somebody who's already in a relationship, I feel like the Four of Wands is telling me that somebody is going to sort of ask you to move in or up the ante. I feel like this if this is a relationship that's already established, like if you've been dating for a while, it feels like it's been stuck. And I feel like you've been questioning, am I really happy here? Is there something that I'm missing? Is there something under the surface that is stalling things or making things go slow? And I think with the Five of Wands, you start to blame it on yourself. Maybe I'm not enough. Maybe I don't have enough. Maybe this person doesn't want me. I don't think that that's it at all. I feel like your Four of Wands is about to show up, but it does feel like the reason it took so long is because the Five of Wands is here. Somebody is in indecision, and only because they've been hurt before. The Nine Wands is here. The Wounded Warrior energy is here. So somebody is hesitating, right? Knight of Pentacles, taking their time to go over details, to make sure that they are moving in the right direction to the right goal. Somebody who's trying to be very practical and gentle and slow, somebody who is trying to figure out, is this really a dependable situation? I feel like the Nine of Cups and the Seven of Swords was telling me that you have your doubts because you felt like this relationship was stuck, or if you have not yet begun dating someone, but you've been in the talking stage, I feel like this Four of Wands is telling me that it stabilizes itself. This person who's been dragging their heels or taking their time, or maybe you thought that they weren't being honest about liking you, they were being honest. They're just somebody who possibly is in earth energy and they weren't ready to make a decision. So the Six of Swords is here in the reverse. It feels like everything was stuck but is about to become unstuck. There we go. There's the Chariot. And then we have the Two of Swords and we have the Six of Wands. This person is someone who's really serious when they make a decision. And when they do make a decision, they give that one person all of their attention. I feel like somebody here is very attracted to you. There's a lot of energetic charisma between the two of you, and I feel as though things are now going to start to move a little quicker with the Chariot energy being here. It feels like somebody here had their feelings under the surface and they weren't really sure whether they wanted to show you all of how they felt, because Cancer's here, and when Cancer finally does bring their feelings to the surface and they go in, they go all the way in. And that's why Cancer is so very careful about who they give their love to or who they show their affection to, because when they fall super hard. So the Two of Swords tells me that somebody was kind of feeling blocked emotionally and didn't know if this is what they wanted, but it feels like the Six of Wands is the victory. The Six of Wands is, I do want to receive attention, give attention, and I think that you feel like home to somebody here. Tell me about what took so long here. We've got the Knight of Pentacles, we've got the Star, we've got the Page of Wands, and the Seven of Cups. Ah, there it is. Somebody had a lot of other options, but they chose you. And I don't think that's anything you need to get mad about. Look, everybody needs to figure out who they want, and everyone is allowed to take their time. Back in the day, in the 50s and the 60s, people actually dated a whole pile of people before they decided who they wanted. And now it's become a total offensive thing if you just even carry on conversation with more than two people. It's kind of ridiculous. But the Page of Wands tells me someone wants you. Somebody is ready to take that next step to get out on the path. And out of all of Seven Cups, they are choosing to see you as the Star. We are going to talk more about this as we get into the extended. We're going to name signs. We'll talk about who we might be talking about here. We've got the Knight of Wands here. So things are going to pick up really quickly from here. We're going to talk about the Knight of Wands. We'll talk about the Nine of Swords being in the reverse and how you no longer have to worry because the Magician is here. And it feels like things that you've been dreaming of are about to materialize in the 3D. We will talk more about that. So we'll go into the extended, and if you would like to know where the extended is, well, it is in the membership area. If you go to the top of the comments, there is a pinned comment that gives you all the information that you need in order to find out where the membership area is. There is a link in the pinned comment. Also, if you wish to just purchase this extended, you're not interested in any of the other extendeds, and maybe you're not interested in the membership area, then you can purchase this this extended by itself if you want. That's also in the pinned comment. And there's a bunch of sales on right now, so 10% off pre-recorded readings. I have pre-recorded readings that I can get back to you in 48 hours. Then there's longer readings, of course, with longer wait times, but 10% off when you take the code that is in the pinned comment for the pre-recorded readings, and anywhere from 5 to 75% off your live readings with me. So if you'd like to get me on the phone or through text or through video, please take a look at the link that is Hypsee. Go take a look at my schedule. You'll see when I'm available, and we can talk on the phone real time. All right, so I'm going to go into the extended. If you'd like to follow me there, you know what to do. I'm going to go for now, and I'll be back because I'm always back, Gemini. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you over in the extended if that's where you end up. Take care. Bye-bye.